Hello friends, it's Sherry from Turquoise Dreaming. I'm here on my lunch break today doing a little crafting. And this is going to be literally me keeping you company. Or you keeping me company while I'm crafting, okay? So I'm making some more of these little Christmas card or Dollar Tree money card journals. I have made a couple. I've gotten all of the ones I had. That stack I showed in my video the other day, I've gotten them all ready as far as took it. I glued down the little back pocket here to make the back side tuck. I don't have a pocket in here. I can't believe it. This one doesn't have a pocket, but I glued down all but this one, apparently, a pocket right here, like all of these right here. I have a stack at home too. I didn't think I could get them all done on my lunch break, so I didn't do them all. But I'll show you. See, I have little pockets in all of them. And look how pretty. Cute, right? And some of them try to use like colorful and bright ones like this. Let's see. See, here's some more. Y'all have the little back side flap glued down and a pocket right here. And like these are pretty decorated, but like if there was a plain one, I added a little label. And like, see how this has snowflakes here, but like this one is plain right here. So some of the plain ones I'm going to add a sticker right there because I want to use up my Christmas stickers. Okay, and I have a lot. I just found another bunch from last year, so trying to use those up. So this is literally a fun little, see, here's another plain one, another pretty pocket. Yeah, see the shiny on there? It's really pretty. Those are my little scraps. And so, yeah, I've got all these ready, so I want to put some pages in here today. And look at this one, it has a clock on it. Pretty cool, right? So that's my goal for today, is add pages to these and maybe even get them sewn in. That would be awesome. So I brought all my supplies for that. But first, I printed out, I found a little stash of bond paper. It's white, but I printed out some of Shabby Dabby Doodah's digital Christmas kit here on this, and I wanted to just cut one out and see what it felt like, because I haven't printed on this paper before. I just found this in my stash, so I want to find just a little label, like one I would put, say, on one of those. I didn't bring anything to glue with today because I plan on just cutting paper and sewing in pages, but I guess I could cut out any one. Let me cut out this one right here. I just want to see what it feels like on bond paper, on this type of paper. It's like bond typing paper, I call it, or printer paper type of thing. You put it in your printer and print important documents on it, I suppose. It's not really resume paper, but of course it's bond paper, so it could be used for a resume. I think a lot of people call the off-white paper bond paper. Okay, so I want to see what it felt like. Okay, just a little bit more sturdier. Of course, I knew that's what it would feel like, but I kind of wanted to actually cut one out and see what it felt like. So there it is. It's just a little thicker paper, and it looks good. You know, the color came through nicely and everything, so really cute. All right, so that's what I wanted to do with that. I'm going to take those home and cut out some more of those if and when I need them, which I probably might need them for these little Christmas card journals. So yeah, I used the one I had made already and totally finished pretty much, except for eyelets. I put it in one of my orders today as a little surprise gift for my customer, so I need to make some more for that reason, and I have a listing in my shop for these too, in case somebody needs some quick little, you know, fun things to tuck into. They're great for what, like tucking into a Christmas card basket, a Christmas basket, if you're making like a gift basket, stocking stuffers, teacher gifts, co-workers, you know, type thing. So let's see, I want to get a little assembly line going here and get this done if I can. So I'm going to spread, let me think in reality reality, how much can I actually get done today? You know, I always kind of push my limits, so I'm going to spread these out. Let's see how many I can spread out. Maybe we'll go by how many I can spread out here. I've got 4 on this side. Here's my paper. And I've got 1, 2, okay, 6. That's pretty easy. And then I've got, oh, I've only got, no, I've got a whole other pile there. Okay, let's work on 6 and see how far we can get. I want to know how many, because I want to know how many papers to cut, right? So I've got 2 cut here. I brought the ones I had cut at home. And so I'm going to tuck those into 2 of the cards. And then I'm just going to go through my papers. I have some cut and some I need to cut. So here's some little calendar pages with the butterflies. I'm almost out. I only have, what, 4 more. And so I was putting those pretty ones in the middle of the journal. So that one's just a calendar page, but this is a pretty butterfly, so this one will be a middle page. And then I have another butterfly here, which will be a middle page. I'm just kind of treating this as a D-stash. I mean, and it's really working. If you need a D-stash, I mean, each one has 16 pages, or that's 32 when you fold them in half. And that's 64 fronts and backs, and that's great number for a nice size December daily, you know. It can even be used for a December daily, so, you know, why not? Okay, so first of all, kind of putting these pages that I already have cut in here. So I've got 2 in each of those 3. I've got 1 in here. Let me see if I have any more. I have all of these cut right here. I have plenty of that one. I'm just getting some that I'm running out of and using those up. Oh, here's another butterfly. I'm going to use that one for a centerpiece. Let me put that in. I kind of want to put that in over here where I have 3 and I have 2 calendar pages in there, but one's just a plain calendar. So 1, 2, 3, 4 have the butterfly middle spot, and I think that's all my butterflies. So I'm gonna need, I have more pretty cards or scrapbook paper here, so we can use that for the middle of the other ones. Okay, now let me use up these. I brought plenty of coffee dyed paper, but this one is, these pieces are already cut. So I'll put these one in each. Okay. But these have to be folded. Make sure I go in the right way so they fit. Okay, so I hope everyone's having a great day. It's Wednesday here in North Carolina and everywhere. Different times around the world, but probably mostly Wednesday everywhere. But it's a cold day in my area. It was, what, in my city it was, where I live, it was 19 degrees this morning. Okay, I'm gonna fold these, but I have already coffee dyed paper in each of these 6, so these will be for my other journals. Why not go ahead and get them ready, right? Yeah, so 19 degrees, so we forgot to let when it's that cold, we let our faucets, you know, drip a little so the pipes don't freeze, and I forgot to do that last night. Didn't even think about it because this is our first, pretty much one of our first nights. Well, it's for our first 19-degree night, but it was below freezing a couple of nights, and I didn't think about it. But it was like warm the day before and then cold, so kind of like, I think it usually has to be cold for at least a couple of days in a row, and a couple, you know, for the pipes to freeze. So tonight, if it's that cold again, we'll have to below freezing, you know, we'll have to remember to turn on our water and let it drip. But last night I forgot, and then I got up this morning and get ready for work, and I thought, uh-oh, I hope the pipes aren't frozen. And they weren't, thank goodness. So we were good. We were good today. So I just have to be careful the rest of the winter. But it's not even really winter yet, right? And it's already snowing in some parts. It did not snow here. They were saying it might snow, but it didn't. My husband works, I work south of where we live, and my husband works north of where we live. So where he works, he said there was a snowflake there. So, like a snowflake. Somebody saw a snowflake. But there were none here. And I work about, I'm thinking, is it 25 miles south of where I live, something like that. So, okay, now these, I'm just going to start stuffing papers in here. Try not to duplicate, and then I'll count, because I can't just, I mean, I can count, but I'm not going to try to really keep count, because I just would rather just stick pages in here and then count and see where I'm at, you know what I mean? So as long as I kind of keep an eye on it, and then I'll count. Okay, these are pretty pages here. I've got stationery. That noise is the building being built. If you've watched my videos, or in case you haven't been watching my lunchtime videos, and it might be a little hard to hear me. I'm talking quiet. I'm on my lunch break at work, and I'm going to cut a few of these at a time so I can get it going here. But yeah, I'm on my lunch break, so I talk quiet because of that. And then that is, whatever that is making noise. They're building a building in our parking lot, so that once in a while they get a little noisy. There has been days when I haven't been able to video because they've been so noisy, but today they're not too bad. But like I've said before, I work in a downtown area, and there's all kind of, it does get a little noisy. There's a train nearby. They're building a building next door, and then there's sirens. Good, you know, sirens go by every day. We have several sirens that go by, so. It's a small city where I work, really. You know, I mean, it's not like Chicago or anything, but it's still kind of a busy downtown area for a small city. Okay, so I got these ready. And I'm going to cut it. I'm sure I can use all of these, so I'm going to go ahead and cut all of these. You can see how it's got a flower on the bottom and plain on the top. So I'm keeping the flower, of course, and cutting off the plain part if I have to cut. And the only reason I'm cutting off, normally I would just do a fold out, but I don't want any fold outs in these. I just don't want that bulk in these little card journals. So just not worrying about it. So, besides the cold, not much is happening. Not much is happening. I bought a turkey the other day. I always make I don't make a whole turkey. I'm kind of chicken. I mean, I have done it. I can do it. I'm not chicken. I just don't want to deal with it. So I always make a turkey breast for Thanksgiving. I make my stuffing on this, you know, outside of the turkey. It's just as yummy, I've been told. So, you know, my youngest son was like, "We're gonna have turkey, right? And stuffing and all the, you know, corn and green beans and stuff, right?" I'm like, "Is that what you want?" And he said, "Yes." So I'm like, "That's what we're having." I may have already said that in one of my other videos, but yeah. He made sure we were having our usual Thanksgiving feast. So sometimes, I mean, it's happened where if you wait till the last minute, you know, I think one year I did wait till closer to Thanksgiving, and all the turkeys were literally gone. There was no turkeys. I had a very hard time finding a turkey, so since then I always kind of buy it at the beginning of November, buy the turkey, and then just start getting the rest of the stuff between now and Thanksgiving, and then I make sure I have everything. I can check my list, you know, double check my list, and that's it. I don't really make a list though. I have my list in my head, So I like to make my list in my head. I don't write it down. I've done that for a long time. Kind of like to test myself, see if I can remember everything. So it's kind of fun. But my son, my youngest son, I have two sons, so they make their contribution to Thanksgiving dinner is, and they've been doing this for a while now, but their contribution is my youngest son makes green bean casserole, and that's his specialty, and he does really good with it. I followed the recipe, but he really followed the recipe. And he puts Worcestershire sauce in there, and it's really good, green bean casserole. And then my older son, my oldest child's son, makes, his specialty is corn casserole, and he does really good with that. He has done a couple different varieties because there's a couple different recipes out there. And hopefully he makes the one I like best this year. I like the one with the crackers. You know, one year he put too many crackers on, so I hope that he doesn't put too many crackers on. But you know, it's rather, if you put too many crackers on, it's can be a little crunchy on top if you don't get them down in there or whatever. So, but it's always good. Both of them like to cook, which is pretty amazing. That because they're, you know, sometimes boys don't like to cook, but they both like to cook. So I think my oldest son might be the primary cook at his house. I'm not sure, but you know, why not? If he likes to cook, let him be the primary cook, right? So okay, so I need one of these in each one of these 6 that I'm working on, trying to finish during this hour, which will be a miracle if I do, right? So let me move on here. I'm talking to myself. Get a move on. Get this done. Because I have another project. I actually have several other projects I want to do for Christmas that involve Christmas journals. And I thought, well, maybe I should just stop making these and go make the other things that I want to make. But you know, I was like, I really want to make some of these too, so, you know, what do you do? So I thought, well, I'll just bring them today, you know, on my lunch break and see what I can get done. And I also, since I kind of said in the beginning, or at the video where I talked about when I first made these, I said I was going to sew on these, and I decided to make it a no-sew craft and just glue down the pocket, this back pocket. I was going to sew this, but I decided just to glue it, and it's good because it also can be a little TV craft, you know. If you need a TV craft, it's great for that. You just have the little cards, have your pages, and go to town. Okay, next page, some more stationery. So I'll go ahead and pull out 6 of those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And where's my done pile? Where's my done pile? I don't know. I lost that other pad of stationery. Okay. Oh, did I use it up? I don't know. Here's the extra pages. I'll put that over in my done pile. Put one in each of these. And then this is my template for my paper cutter here. So I'm just taking, so I only pulled out 6. Let me measure. And again, this one has a flower on the bottom, plain on the top. So I'm going to keep the bottom portion. And I may have to, let me see if these are, I have to cut a little bit up off the side on this one too. It's a little bit too tall. Or wait a minute, do I want to cut this way? Oh, the phone. Yes, I think I do. I certainly do. Okay, let me do that. Cut this way. My paper cutter. Oh, little paper cutter. Okay. And I don't want to cut my template. Oh, good piece of lined paper there. I've got that. And this. I don't know if I could cut 6 at a time. I just like my paper, make sure it comes out straight, and you know, nothing goes wrong with the paper cutter. So I just try not to overload my paper cutter, especially this one. This is my work paper cutter, so it's a little different, you know, than the home one. I think they're both Fiskars though, or Fiskars, whatever. Let's see. Okay. So I've got this one. Maybe I should try 6. They don't feel too bad like they would the, you know, too awfully thick. Yeah, I just need a little strip off of each side now. If I can have even margins here on either side. Yeah, that came out decent. There's a little bit of something right there that I can cut off with my scissors. Here we go. All fixed. Now strip off the other side, and then we can put these in the little journals. Okay. Oh, someone mentioned the other day, they asked, not on one of my videos, on a video I was watching, they asked about how to keep Fabri-Tac. In case you haven't heard, they asked about how to keep Fabri-Tac from, you know, the glue volcano that Fabri-Tac does sometimes. Okay, and so just in case you haven't heard, because you know, it's going around, and I had heard it, but and maybe everyone hasn't, so just pass along a little tip that I started doing with my Fabri-Tac to keep from getting the glue volcano, and it's working on my current Fabri-Tac. I tried it. So I just took, when you open it, when it's brand new and you open it, and it has that little seal, and I don't have it here to show you, but that little seal inside the cap, you know, to keep the little seal on there, don't take it off, wherever it ends up inside. Sometimes it ends up inside the cap. I think mine, the last one, was inside the cap. Leave it in there, inside the cap, that little seal, like little foil seal, and take something like your awl, like this, something with a little small point, okay, and just poke a hole in there, in the middle of it, right in the middle, because you have to have one, you know, big enough to let some glue in, but you don't, for some reason this works, I don't know the science of it, but poke a hole in there, leave the seal in there, put it back on your bottle, and then you won't have the glue volcano. Okay, so I tried that and it's working, because I have had the, not every time, but sometimes on some of my Fabri-Tac bottles I've had the glue volcano, and so this is great not to have that. Okay, that's just a little tip I wanted to pass along in case you haven't heard it. Maybe you have, but if you haven't, it's a, you know, great little tip, right? Okay, I'm putting the stationery in here. 6. I gotta watch the time and stop. I'm gonna stop about 10 minutes before my hour is up, because it took me about 5 minutes to set up, and I'm trying not to abuse my lunch hour. I don't feel right about doing that, you know, going over time. So it took me about 5 minutes to set up today, and I need probably 5 minutes to clean up, so that means 50 minutes. So when I get near 50, I gotta stop. Okay, where did that come from? I'm messing up here. Okay, oh, it goes in here. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna have to go through these pages when I'm done, because I'm kind of talking and not paying attention. I'm trying to pay attention, but okay, so I want to make sure I have a piece of that stationery in each one, because I have one left here. Somebody didn't get one. Let's see, this is the little fairy, has a fairy down here. So this one does not have a fairy. Okay, I didn't get one in here. Let's see, where do I want it? I think I want it right here. Then this, and then this. And I'll end up going through these before I sew them in to make sure everything's in the right place. But right now I just want to get 16 pages in each one. So I'm saving these for last because I want to see, that's when I'm going to go through the pages and figure out where I want 2 pretty pages. I might put one from each of these books, or, I mean, there's several different pages in here, so I could use as many as I want. But the idea is for these to be writing journals and then have a few pretty pages in here, okay? So here's some bridge score sheets. And these look really cute in here because they're bigger. This is the only pad I have at this big size. So I think it's really neat for these journals. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Can I pull out 6 without ripping them? Probably not. Let's do 3 at a time. I don't know what they're hammering on over there. And they're putting bricks on a wall. I noticed when I looked out the window earlier today. They're also, that's on the hotel part. It's a hotel that they're building. And then they are also building a parking garage next to the hotel. So, but it sounds like it's at the hotel part where they're banging around, so not sure what it is, but okay, I'm going to go for all 6 at one time here. That one time that I worked, you know, I did it last time on that last cut, so, and it worked. So if I can keep that up, I'll be able to go a little faster. Yeah, that worked great. Perfecto. Okay, cool. Now that's my template. Now, how do I want to fold these? This way or that way? I like this, but I think it's too tall. Let me see. I have to cut a little bit off the bottom, I think. A little bit more off the bottom here, yeah. I just cut, and my line's a little crooked there too, so I need to even that up anyway. Okay, so a little bit more. Alright, trying to keep my voice down so no one can hear me talking out there in the office. And be like, who's she talking to in there? Okay, who is she talking to? What is she doing? They know I craft in here, so they're my coworker. When I came in here, she says, "Have fun." Cause I go out and do show and tell sometimes when it's something different that she hasn't seen. I'll be like, "Let me show you what I made today. So cool." I know I'm crazy. Oh goodness. Okay, I'm folding these in half. They're so cute. I mean, look at these. Isn't that a fun little journaling page? Awesome. Love it. You're right all over that. In a very fun way if you want to write in all the little squares or something. Be creative. Get creative. Okay. I'm going to put that in the very front for right now, but I'll probably end up not being the front page. I kind of like the coffee dyed page in the front, but I might put a pretty page in front. I want to make sure there's a pretty page in front and a pretty page in the middle, and the rest can be writing pages. And I'm going to add little tags, tag in the front and a tag, or one. It's going to be a journaling card and a tag. One in the front, one in the back. You know, little pockets. And then I'm adding, if it needs a sticker, like in a blank spot here, I'm going to make sure I add one of my Christmas stickers. 1 or 2, depending on the size, right? If it was 2 small ones. And then I'm going to add the tie closure like on this one. has the little baker's twine closure in these where I punched holes, but I'm going to try to use my crocodile, which I have not received yet. I ordered one because I explained in my last video where I talked about, I think I was talking about these journals. I have a eyelet setter, just a generic one, and it doesn't work right. I can't get it to work right. Okay, what else do I have here to put in here? Let me see. I've got coffee dye paper. Oh, I've got some ledger paper. I've got music paper. Let's do the music paper next. Oh, and I've got this paper over here. This one. See, I tried to bring 10 different sheets of paper to put in here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's see what time it is. We're at 31 minutes. We've got about, what, 19 minutes. That's in the done pile. Okay, so these I think will fit. I have to cut at the top off a little bit, top or bottom. I think it looks like I'm cutting the top off a little bit. Yeah, I have to cut the top off a little bit to make these fit. So let me do 3 at a time, because these are a little thicker. These are actually really thick, like cardstock, almost, or they are like cardstock, actually. Yeah, I'm just like noticing that. They're just like they are cardstock. Very sturdy. Okay, so I'm cutting off the top. Let me get them even here. Cutting off the top. Okay, yeah, this paper cutter is different from my home, so it's always like I'm getting used to it, but I'm still actually not used to it, kind of. Yeah, that'll fit. Okay, 3 more, or actually 2 more. Okay. Yes, well, that'll work. That will work. Okay, now cut them and fold them in half evenly. These are really neat. They're look like they're. I wish there was a date on here, but they look like they're actually kind of. These could be pretty old. They're not cracking or anything when I fold them, but they are yellowed or starting to brown. So pretty neat little interesting papers to add. My husband brought me some file folders. He brought one home the other night from work. And I said, what is that? That's cool. It's like a file folder. It's a manila folder, but it has a chart on the front and a chart. I think it has a chart on both the inside pieces too. I think the back might be plain. I'm not sure. But anyway, I was like, what is that? That is cool. And he's like, why, you want some? And I was like, yeah, those are really neat. And so he brought me some, and he's like, they're just old folders that we use, but they're not really, I folded that one different. They're not really like it's not something they currently use. They just use them because they're old folders and, you know, they have them. So they just kind of use them, but not anything they have to use. So, and he said they just have tons of them. So I was like, okay, if you want to get rid of some, bring me some. So he brought me some last night, so I can't wait to do something with those. It'll be fun. Something different and unique, I would say. So, okay. Still have a long way to go with these. I've only got about 6 pages in here, it seems. And so I got, what, 10 more? Am I putting 16 in here? I wish I would have brought one that I finished. I think I'm actually putting 10 pages in here. Okay. Because I said 16, but I think it's 10. Okay, here's some that are ready. 1, 2, 3. Oh, there's more than that. 1. Let's see how many I have ready. I might not have to cut any more right now. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 ready already. Awesome. Okay, let's put those in. Ledger paper, my favorite. Let's see, we've got, I mean, they're all, like I said, it's going to be mostly writing paper and with a few pretty papers. So sometimes if I have, you know, my regular journals that I put like pretty paper, line paper, pretty paper, line paper like that. Or just some different paper, you know, if it's got printing on it, like a text, like a book page or something. I'll put every other page. Make sure there's a place to write on every other page is my point. Because I like to leave lots of writing room. Because that's kind of like what I do in a journal. I kind of mainly write, but sometimes I just put a picture, like a picture and a little bit of writing underneath the picture, you know? I mean, some journals have just pictures with a little writing underneath, like a scrapbook, but it's not a scrapbook, it's a junk journal. So it's a scrappy book, junk journal. Okay, time for music pages. 1, 2, 3. I'll try not to do this too loud. I listened to my video the other day where I tore these out. I was like, oh my goodness, that was so loud. Did not realize, so I'm gonna pull these out a little bit slow so I don't kill your ears. The other day I just went, rip. I was like, oh my goodness, I had no idea that was so loud. You know, in my room here, it didn't sound loud, but on the camera, I was like, oh wow, how did that happen? How was that so loud? Okay, hope that wasn't too loud. Okay, I have one spiral. I didn't do it to this one, but I have another spiral, which I will try to do it. I just don't want to take the time to do it right now. But whenever I find a spiral, it's kind of cool to keep the holes. You know, if you look at the holes here, if you were able to keep those, wouldn't that be neat? Little added kind of design to your scrapbook. So yeah, the other day I had one, and let's see how I want to fold these. I wonder if I could get 2 out of this. If I cut it in half this way and fold it this way, I think I could get 2 actually. Let me try that. Yeah, so I took the spiral out. I just, all I did, if you've never taken one out, all I did, the one I had, let's see, this one is, I had a little pair of pliers, and I just, the end, this one's not really folded, but it's a little bit curved on the end. I just straightened up the end on both ends, and then started unwinding it, and it just came right out. Like you just have to unwind it all the way down. It only takes a few minutes once you get it going. And then I got to keep my holes, so that was pretty cool. If you ever want to try that, if you've never thought of it. I mean, it's the easy thing, but I think I saw Maria do it. That's how I thought of it. So it wasn't like I thought of it originally. And then so I thought, oh yeah, Maria took her spiral out of one of her, you know, and I thought, well, why don't I try that? And so I did, and it worked. So I got to keep my little holes. Yeah, those are some I coffee dyed. I didn't coffee dye these. I'm trying to coffee dye most of my music. But this is the music I got from my mom. In case you haven't seen it, the videos where I talk about, I got 2 boxes of music from my mom, and yes, I've been using it like this in my journals. I've been cutting it up and coffee dyeing it. I did give quite a bit of it to, I have quite a bit left, but when I first showed it on one of my videos when I brought it home from Florida, I said, if anybody wants any, let me know. And I did have somebody that wanted some. I said, well, let me know which ones you want, and she did, and I sent them all to her. So, and we did a little swap too. She's like, you know, send me some, I'll send you something. And I was like, okay, that'll work. So we did a little swap, so that was fun. So she sent me a bunch of stuff, and now I'm sharing her stuff. And I've talked about how I kind of pay it forward or whatever, or do a giveaway after I get Happy Meal. So if I get a Happy Meal, and you say, oh, she said she does pay it forwards, but she didn't do a pay it forward. Where's your pay it forward? Where's your giveaway? It's because I'm sharing it in other ways, like kind of like with somebody wants to do a swap with me, and I happen to have just gotten a Happy Meal. Well, then I share a bunch of it, or I'm trying to fold these in half, but they're a little bit too wide. Or how else do I share it? Oh, with my customers, when I get an order, you know, in a little goodie bag, I'll put a few things in there. So that's how I've been sharing my last Happy Meal, I guess. I didn't go last 1 or 2 Happy Meals. I didn't do a giveaway. I just kind of have been putting things here and there, besides using it, sharing it like that. So that's a way to share your Happy Meals if you need ideas on that. Okay, I'm kind of talking and not really doing this right. They're too wide. I thought they were going to fit, and then they're too wide, so I'm having to cut a little bit off the sides here. Get these to fit in here. Okay, this should do it. This should do it. Yeah, that looks good. That looks good, I think. Yes, perfect. Okay, I've got this one ready. 3. Need 2 more. So let me cut these. Yeah, I have too many now because I cut those in half. I was going to just cut them in a different way, and then I thought, well, you know, why am I doing that? I can just fold them like this. They're a little shorter, I guess, but that's okay. That's how junk journals are, right? Variety of sizes, usually, on the pages. Okay, let's see how this goes. Are we good with the size? Yes, see how it fits. It's going to fit inside. Okay. So I think I have 6 pages there. Let's see if we can get these in somewhere. Music book. Yep, everything fits. Oops, sorry, I'm shaking you. Not putting them in any certain order. I'm just putting one in each one, wherever I grab, that's where it's going. Okay. Do we have enough? Do we have enough? Did I cut enough? Yep, that fits. Right on the line almost, though. Okay. 1 more? 2 more? Okay, I did cut enough. Let's see what time it is. Oh, I've got 7 minutes. Good, maybe we can get a couple of these pretty pages in there. And then I'll count my pages and see where I'm at. Get out of the way. Okay, now this is done for the moment. I've got 2 paper pads here. These are from Dollar Tree. Let's pull out some pretty papers. I'm not really trying to be Christmassy on the pages, just on the outside. I'm just putting whatever, like I said, kind of de-stashing on the inside. So I'm going to pull out 6 of these. 1, 2, well, there's only 3, so 3 of these. Those 3, and here's 2 more, okay. 5, and we need 1 more of something. What do we want? Let's do, it doesn't really matter, I should just not think about it. I'm gonna do, I'm thinking about it too much. I'm doing that one, I don't care. Okay, 6 of those, and then probably 6 6 of these, and then I'll have, not thinking about it, 1, 2, 3, 4. Come on. 5, 6. Oh, these are pretty, but they are wide on the back, so I know that there will be writing space on those. So what I've been doing with these is cutting off this top because it's too wide anyway, or too tall. So I kind of have to cut it off anyway, so I might as well cut off the part with the little hole in it, right? So I'm just going to cut these real quick. Get them in there. It looks like we won't have time for sewing today, sewing in the pages, but at least I got this done. And then tonight at home when I'm watching TV, hopefully I can stay awake long enough and I'll watch some TV and do some of this sewing in of the pages. Okay, yeah, that'll fit. Just fold these all at one time, see how that goes. Save some time. Okay, and now cut these. These have the hole still. We're going to cut that off. Okay. Sorry I'm sniffing. I think the cold weather is affecting me a little bit as far as that goes. Giving me the sniffles. I don't think I'm sick. I'm allergic to cold weather. Literally, I think I am. I mean, I am from Florida, so it makes sense, right? Okay. Is that too big or too small? We shall see in a second. We shall see. If I need another trim, I'll make another trim. Okay. All right, let's get them in there. Time is running out. Okay, so here's our books.